First and foremost, thank you all for being here. This is our fifth FinTech Georgia Symposium, and by far the largest. And before we begin, I want to say a very special thank you to the team that pulled this together. They were led by our co-chairs, Maribel Herrera from Elevon and Cherie Fuzzell from Parkmobile. If you see these two ladies, the amount of time and energy they put in is remarkable, almost full-time jobs. In addition to that, the team that helped them with this, if we can flip to that slide. Well, here we go, over there. Sarah Arvin from WorldPay, Arnold Gallant of Control Scan, Scott Mills from William Mills Agency, KT Mills from William Mills, Alvin Mayers from Synergy Data, Glenn Sarvati. If you see any of these folks, though, please, if you can see them, I can't. But please thank them, because the amount of effort that they put in to do this. Yes, Jonathan Siskin from Equifax, Tom Pierce from Nimble Systems, Glenn Sarvati from Glenn's new gig. He's got a new consulting company, 154 Consulting. And then Brendan McGuire from PNC. They organized the panels. Sarah Arvin gave up most of a ski trip 2 weeks ago to pull together the run of the show and the marketing. So I'd like to give them a large round of applause now so they know how much we appreciate what they've done. So we have a full day of both content, but also time to mix and mingle, and we definitely encourage you to do that. One of the reasons we host this event is to try to bring this Georgia FinTech community together so that we can kind of coalesce, share ideas, get to know one another better, and continue to keep Georgia as the leading financial technology city in the entire world. I'd like to also introduce right now the chairman and CEO of TAG, Mr. Tino Mantella. Tino Mantella. Tino?
Thank you, Sean. Hello, everyone. Congratulations, Sean, and to the Society Board. This is a tremendous crowd, and as Sean said, it grows every year. Most of you know that TAG has 34 special interest groups. Keeps us busy. Call them our societies. And the FinTech Society, under Sean's leadership, and with my staff person that supports it, Derek, who's somewhere in here, do a terrific job. And when you think about TAG, sometimes you think about societies, you think about events, meetups, education, content. But these guys do so much more than that. They've developed white papers that have gotten a lot of attention. They also, and this is something you might not know, they raised $50,000, and if anyone is here that helped with that, thank you very much, to support a top new young FinTech company as part of our Cap Venture program. That was awarded for the first time this past year. So they really extend themselves and do a terrific job. So we're proud of the work that they do. I always like to thank the sponsors, because without you, this kind of thing wouldn't be possible. I know we raised over, maybe there's going to be mentioned later, but over $70,000, which is tremendous in terms of this event. Most of you here, you know a lot about FinTech, and you know a lot about us being a leader in payments. So in my brief remarks, I'm not going to really say anything other than a couple interesting factoids. And if you know TAG, we have all kinds of factoids because we do lots of research and gather data. But in 2011, there were 135 billion, with a B, payment card transactions globally. And in the United States, or in Georgia, there were 85 billion of those transactions took place in Georgia. So 135 billion, and then in our state, 85 billion. So it's quite amazing. And there's 105,000 FinTech jobs either in our state or from our companies around the globe. And these are great jobs, high-paying jobs. So we're a leader, in the challenge is, how do you stay a leader in any space? We have these clusters, and we have about 7 where we've classified as where Georgia lead, and certainly FinTech is one of those. So, what will help us and the kinds of things we hear, and when we do our research, we interviewed this year over 300 C-level leaders. It was access to talent, not a surprise to anyone. Access to capital, which wouldn't be a surprise to anyone. And also promoting Georgia as a leader in the fintech space. When people think of Georgia, they think more of agriculture and other things, and they don't realize that we're actually a leader. So TAG's taken a leadership role in that. In the last 2 years, we've driven over 1 billion media impressions each year for the last 2 years through our PR efforts in that regard. And finally, the last point I want to make is even access to capital, access to talent, promotion. One of the key pieces that we have, that secret sauce, is collaboration. A lot of you are competitors in here, but what is great is people come together, you connect, and we're really working together to help your company support the people in here, but also to make sure that Georgia continues to extend its lead as a leader in fintech. So congratulations to all of you. Have a great day, and I'll turn it back over to Sean. Thanks.
Thank you again, Tino. Without TAG support, this is not an organization that could have been pulled together. And really, Derek Howard, if you see him, he's got a really, really kicking beard, so you'll recognize him. Tell him thank you, too, because without his efforts, we could not pull this stuff together. With that, I'd like to introduce kind of one of the newest organizations here in Georgia that are advocating for financial technology companies, and it's the American Transaction Processing Coalition. And I'd like to bring up the CFO of Ingenico, Michael Wassifer, to spend a little time explaining what they do and how they can help. Thank you. Michael?
All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Michael Wassifer. Our executive director, West Richards, was planning on coming here this morning, but was held up. I'm very sorry for that. But we want to introduce ourselves to this audience. We are doing very similar things than FinTech. We have a certain overlap in regards to the goals and targets we want to reach. We want to make sure payment industry is recognized in Georgia and beyond. We want to make sure that regulation is reasonable and not overburdening, and we spread the good word in Georgia and also beyond on a federal level. As you can tell, our content is very similar to what FinTech is looking to do. We're not competing with FinTech. We think we are a wonderful team partner in achieving our common goals, and again, promoting our activity and in Georgia and beyond. We have been able to secure the support of all Georgia representatives in an initiative just recently, success stories. It's unprecedented to get Republicans and Democrats on the same letter, but we collected 13 signatures when we sent a letter to Mr. Corduroy. I'll be here. Some of us are here today. If you would like to learn more about ATPC, please talk to us. We'll be happy to tell you more what we're doing. And I thank FinTech very much and Sean Banks for inviting me today. And with that, I believe I'm introducing our organizers of this event. We have Cherie Fuzzell and Maribel Herrera, who did an excellent job in putting this thing together.
Good morning. We don't want to give the prize away with the music, but we're going to have something similar to diamonds at the end of the symposium. I'm going to tell you about it in a few seconds. And good morning. I'm Maribel with Elvan. We have a very interactive and engaging set of conversations around the fintech space laid out for you today. Cherie and I are going to walk you through the agenda to give you a sense of what is ahead. We also want to let you know that we prepared all of our speakers to take questions from the audience. We have two folks roaming around the room, and I'm going to ask them to stand up so you can see them. It's going to be Arnold Gallet and Glenn Savardi. So Glenn is over there, and Arnold is over there. So think of these questions, be ready to ask them, and let's keep those speakers on their toes. Now, to facilitate this interaction, we've incorporated polling questions. We're going to have anywhere between 1 to 2 polling questions per segment. We're going to ask them at the beginning of the segments, give you a few seconds to respond, and give you the answer at the end of it. And the way it's going to work is 2 ways. So you can text your answer to the number on the screen, or you can do it through the website that is also on the screen. We're also going to use Twitter to let you share your thoughts on the symposium and also the panels that you're going to be interacting with today. So what we also wanted to do differently this time around is to reward tweeting. And here's where we're going to have the prize. And not quite like diamonds, but we're going to have a Samsung smartwatch. So please stick around till the end, and we'll look forward to seeing who the winner is. And now let's review the agenda. We're going to start the day with Margaret Morgan Weichert moderating a rich conversation around the state of the industry and trends. So anywhere between information technology transformation and also the globalization of the industry. And from the ones that know Margaret, there is nobody better to get us going today. So thank you, Margaret, for being here. Following that, Kurt Buchelaar will moderate a panel on the Internet of Things and payments. We now live in a world where the number of connected objects is expected to exceed 50 billion by 2020, and that equates to 6.6 devices per person globally. Opportunities, as you see, go way beyond the use of smartphones for payments. Following that, we're going to have Kurt. Following Kurt, we're honored to grant the TAG FinTech Lifetime Achievement Award to Phil Tomlinson, chairman of the board and former CEO of TSYS. Phil has made a significant impact on the industry and our community, so we're very excited to celebrating and acknowledging his contributions today. Pamela Joseph with US Bancorp and Paul Garcia with Global Payments are former award winners. And with that, I'm going to let Cherie tell you about what we have for you after lunch.
Thank you. Hi, good morning. So here's a glimpse of what we have in store for you for the afternoon. We're going to start the afternoon with a 15-minute networking break and encourage you all to visit the 20 companies that are featured in our Innovation Alley. And then at 1:30, we're going to kick off our afternoon panels with an Innovations in Lending panel. Led by Peter Maynard, this group is going to focus on a discussion of how analytics are changing the business of providing credit. And then we'll continue with another panel discussion led by Sid Singh around the evolving POS experience. There's just so much change in this area, and the group will focus on how innovation is impacting both the merchant and the customer experience. When the POS experience panel wraps up, we're going to have our final networking break and your opportunity to get together or visit the Innovation Alley again. And then the afternoon panels will conclude with a Bitcoin discussion. And this is likely to be a very lively conversation because it's going to be led by James Ray, and we have a mix of diverse panelists from both innovating companies and from regulators. And then finally, we've added a new feature to the symposium this year. We're going to have a fast pitch competition at the end, and you'll be able to hear from 5 innovative companies. And so please stick around for that. And then we'll end the day with some short remarks from Sean Banks and then a cocktail reception starting at 5:30. So with that, let's get started.
That's right. Now for the State of the Industry panel. Margaret Morgan Weichert is a principal at EY and the Americas lead for the payments practice. She has 20 years of payment industry experience working with bank, processors, regulators, and alternative payment providers. Margaret is also an innovator with 13 payments-related patents, as well as an entrepreneur who started her own company and sold it to First Data. She has an impressive background, and as I said earlier, there is nobody better to get us kicked off. So ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you Margaret Morgan Weichert.